What's going on, gang? What's going on? Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Hey, it's your boy Phantm Phuego, and I hope you're feeling as good as I am, because good God, your boy's feeling splendiferous right now. Phantm Phuego. For those that don't know, get in tune. It's your boy Phantm Phuego, and you are now tuned into the news, views, previews, and reviews with just a twist of his Ghetto Point of View. Ooh. You know the vibes, man. We got a dope show up in store for tonight. Got a lot of very, very interesting topics to talk about. Get in tune, tell a friend and tell a friend. Sundays and Wednesdays is when we get to it. You know how we do it. It ain't nothing to it. This is his Ghetto Point of View. Y'all are the dopest audience on the planet, and I am your humble, gracious host. Let's go! Yeah, gang, we back. As always, fam, as always, any questions, comments, critiques, criticisms, you got a new album dropping, a new single about to pop, you just shot the video for your toughest joint to date, you designing an app, you created a new cryptocurrency, a new smart contract, you're minting some new NFTs, you about to launch the pilot for your new TV show, you just shot a documentary, or the treatment or the short version of your new movie. Tap in with us, get in tune, man. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com. I'd love to check your stuff out. I'd love to review it, preview it, give my Ghetto Point of View on it. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com. HISGHETTOPOINT. His Ghetto Point of View.com. First story today, gang. First story of the day. Some love him, some hate him, but he is now back on these streets to be hated by so many, and I guess loved by so many others. The man of the hour, Andrew Tate, was released from a Romanian prison on March 31st. According to the New York Post, Andrew Tate wins fourth appeal. I didn't even know he had to do so many appeals. Jesus, released from Romanian jail on house arrest. I knew he had to do I knew they were saying that he'd be there for at least 90 days though. But while they tried to figure out what's going on, which is weird. You don't really hear of stuff like that. Them giving a particular timetable for how long they were going to keep him, but it is what it is. So anyway, controversial social media influencer and alleged trafficker Andrew Tate was released from a Romanian jail Friday and placed under house arrest. After losing his first 3 appeals, Tate was released from a Bucharest lockup after winning his 4th one that challenged a judge's decision last week to extend his arrest a 4th time for 30 days. Said Ramona Bola, a spokesperson for DIOCOT, Romania's anti-organized crime agent. Okay. Tate had been jailed since last December on suspicion of organized crime and trafficking. The 36-year-old influencer, who boasts 5.5 million followers, tweeted a simple smile in celebration. Smile emoji. It wasn't even the emoji, it's like a semicolon and parentheses. Tate and his 3 alleged accomplices, including his brother Tristan, have not been formally charged. And I think some people are forgetting that one of his accomplices is even former police. Like, she quit being police so she could be like one of his model girls on this website. Like, that's a real thing. Like, that really happened. Like, this whole Andrew Tate story is very weird because, there's all this information swirling around that his dad may have been a CIA agent. So it's like he just kind of popped up into the manosphere or the red pill world community, what have you. And what if he's an agent? Like, what if he's an asset set to take the manosphere down? It's like craziness. I mean, just something to think about. What if he's really there to destroy it internally? Because they can't have men really thinking positively about themselves, so they'll send in this dude who's really extreme and whose really extreme views would cause the whole thing to collapse. Just saying. The CIA is known to do stuff like that, and who better than an alleged son of a CIA agent to come in and infiltrate? But anyway, allegedly. The foursome was granted immediate release in favor of house arrest until April 29th. A final ruling prosecutors cannot challenge, Bala said. Like one of these four people that was released. According to The Sun, this article called Cop Out, Andrew Tate's quote-unquote angel, ex-cop turned OnlyFans model Luana Radu. You can look this up. Luana Radu. Radu. She was police. Tried to dig up dirt on the cops probing into the Tate brothers. Andrew Tate's OnlyFans model angel, quote-unquote, Luana Radu is being investigated for allegedly trying to dig up dirt on police probing the case. Radu, 32, a former cop, ditched the force for a career in online modeling and cam girl work before falling in with Tate and his brother Tristan. So she was already doing this, and then she linked up with them. She is described as Tate's administrative assistant. She is believed to have been a key part in Tate's operation in Romania alongside his other angel and girlfriend, Georgiana Nagel. Radu is a former inspector in the Romanian police force. She was really a cop. And she is now being investigated for using her connections to get secret police info on the case and the officers. The Tate brothers remain detained. Well, no, now they're not. They are accused of running a trafficking operation and exploiting camera girls, but strongly deny all allegations. Cops believe she may have been helped by at least one insider within the force. It is not suggested that the Tates knew about her alleged actions. The four are being probed. Yes. Article continues in The Sun that Luana Radu could not have access to police database without the help of a person from the Internal Affairs Ministry. Dum. So somebody in Internal Affairs may have helped her access the files. Woo, this is getting deep. Radu is accused of illegally accessing Romanian Internal Affairs Ministry databases to gain information on police and prosecutors. She is claimed to have done this multiple times between April and December 2022. This time period is between the first raid on the Tates and when they were arrested, after which they have been detained ever since. But now, of course, we know they were freed as of March 31st. Her first access of the database is alleged to have happened just days after the initial search of the Tates compound and studio in Bucharest on April 11th, 2022. And, if she's quote-unquote being abused and raped, I don't imagine her going to these great lengths to do something that would be illegal. Why wouldn't she run to the cops for help? Why would a former police officer allow them to abuse and rape her? So, just so many questions. And again, they could be 1,000% guilty, but we have to let the due process of the courts play out. But unfortunately, the court of public opinion does not have a due process. It is just the mob and how it sways its attention or perception of you at any moment in time. And yeah, it's unrelenting once it does sink its teeth in. Article continues, prosecutors made the discovery while gathering information from a laptop used by Radu. She is alleged to have been looking for info and possibly dirt on officers investigating the Tates. Radu graduated from the Bucharest Police Academy in 2013, working as a police officer for the Force's Section 7. She left the force in 2014 to pursue an online career in modeling and cam work. That's so crazy to me how people can put in so much time to be an officer and just leave in 12 months. I mean, that tells me that it must have been some craziness going on in the force, because you have to put in so much time to be a police officer. To leave in 12 months, I don't know how it is in Bucharest, but I would imagine it's just as intense, if not more intense. The training, the level of qualifications, testing, etc., the amount of time you have to wait to do all that and then just leave. Wow. She performed under the name Ellie Deli and often exploited her past as a cop, wearing racy police uniforms to titillate her fans. Investigators believe she was recruited by the Tates to work with them, as she was very smart. As well as being a model on OnlyFans, she was also Tate's official quote-unquote administrative assistant, the cops told The Sun. Radu's account on OnlyFans has since been shut down. It has been claimed previously both Radu and Nigel were key in managing the models who worked for Tate. The duo would allegedly take half of their revenue and tightly control the content the women posted online. Hey, getting money. The models would be fined for infractions such as sniffling on camera, said prosecutors. Nigel and Radu would allegedly threaten violence if the women did not work. They are also alleged to have pressured the women to undergo breast augmentation to make them quote-unquote more attractive. The Tates and the Angels remain detained amid allegations of human trafficking, organized crime, and rape. Romanian prosecutors were again granted a further 30-day extension as the probe continues. Well, of course, now that has been done. Radu and Nigel, pardon me, I'm probably destroying her name, had been set to be released into house arrest, but prosecutors successfully appealed that decision. But now everybody is out. Andrew and Tristan could have been held for up to 180 days. If the extensions were granted by the courts, it means they could be detained pending could have been detained pending investigation until June 27th. But of course, they were let out on March 31st. The special allegations relate to 6 women, but 2 of them have denied being victims. The Tates are alleged to have lured women in Romania under the pretense of a romantic relationship, only to then coerce them into their webcam business. I don't understand. It could be true that they have a romantic relationship with the girls and they want them on camera. Both could be true. It doesn't have to be one or the other. They're not mutually exclusive things. Tate has always insisted the case is part of a conspiracy against him that he often refers to as the quote-unquote Matrix. Misogynist influencer Tate, of course, built up a sickening image that appealed to teenage boys, creating an online empire that made him one of the most searched people on Google. Teenage boys, really? It's hilarious. Masquerading as lifestyle advice, much of the content is actually highly sexist and promotes violence against women. I've never heard Andrew Tate one time say violence against women, and very often it's women that are allowing him on their platforms, such as Pearl Davis with Just Pearly Things. And we're going to get to the Pearly Davis situation too. That whole debacle is crazy, but I'll wait another week and let people keep throwing all type of nasty haymakers at one another before I get in there. His influence has had a worrying spread amongst the young men and boys, with one UK Prime Minister saying he is brainwashing children. Tate initially gained fame after a short-lived appearance on Big Brother. He was dumped from the reality show after alleged footage of him beating a woman emerged online. Since then, he has sparked revulsion and outrage with a wave of warped content online. Washington, D.C. born Tate was banned. Oh, of course, CIA father, and he's born in D.C. Sheesh. This dude might be a CIA operative. Was banned from Twitter in 2017 for violating its terms of service with his controversial comments. In August, Tate was banned from a range of other social media sites. I'm going to say this is August 22 because we're not in August of 2023 yet. So in August of 2022, Tate was banned from a range of other sites, as most people know at this point, only to be reinstated on Twitter after the company was taken over by Elon Musk. I ain't Elon Musk, so I smoke beyond dusk. And I got a colorful aura, like I got neon guts. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Uh-oh, Elon Musk. I'm sorry, I'm just a little silly. Romanian authorities have also launched an internal investigation, as it is believed complaints against the Tates filed in 2021 and 2022. As it is believed complaints against were filed in 2021 and 2022, but none were pursued. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Uh-oh, Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Shout out to the dude that made that Elon Musk song. That song was tough. I can't remember the artist's name for nothing right now. I'm so sorry. That is not cool. Let me see. What's the gentleman's name? Elon Musk. Elon Musk. I'll find it and I'll give him a shout. I might even try to throw the track in today's episode. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, this all this stuff is crazy. All this stuff is crazy. I will say one thing about the Pearl situation though. People need to know their history, okay? When you don't know your history, people can tell you anything. And you can be easily duped, deceived, and emotionally led into chaos when people say things about your alleged history that you don't know or can't confirm or corroborate to be true, but still are hurtful and painful. I'd argue that when people feed you lies and false information, one of the best things for them to do is attach it to your emotions so that your emotions override your logic. Your feelings about the situation won't allow you to think straightly through it. Think in a clear, logical, sequential order of events type of in a way that is arranged well, in a way that progresses and has a logical series of steps. You will go crazy and your emotions will drive you to make decisions you may normally have not. So we as every community has to be aware of this, but speaking directly to my community for a sec, family, we have to be wiser. We have to know our history. Number one, so we can be better understanding and better stewards of who we are. Number two, so we can pass that down to our heirs, our children, grandchildren, little brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, people we teach at schools, etc. People we try to just touch and bless in the community, if we a coach, a mentor, a volunteer, what have you. We got to know the history so we can pass down an accurate timeline to the people, to the heirs, to these young kings and queens inheriting this land, to these young wise people, these young sages, these young entrepreneurs, these young doctors, these young lawyers, these young bus drivers, these young plumbers, these young roofers, whatever professions they'll end up being in. They need to have a clear, concise, and well-researched version of history to go off so that they can build from a solid foundation. Now, well, research doesn't always have to be going to the Library of Congress or, down to the health department. Well, research could be just talking to grandma, talking to great grandma, you know what I mean, on both sides of the family, and seeing them old photo albums, seeing them old birth certificates, seeing the old marriage licenses, the old baptismal records, the old military records, if anybody was in the service. We always say salute for your service over here. But those records can play a very vital part in trying to locate who you are and confirm who you're not, more importantly. And when we have people like a Pearl Davis interviewing people, and there doesn't seem to be anyone else in the room, and we don't like what's said about, the community, quote unquote, the community who always seems to form and assemble around drama and nonsense, but never seems to form and assemble when I just want to grow some apples, when I just want to grow some watermelon and apples and berries to feed the community. Where are they then? But if it bleeds, it leads. If it bleeds, it motherfucking leads. So I say all that to say, we need to just read more books. We need to take the time to really do the knowledge on ourselves. And we may be surprised who we are, who we aren't. And when people say certain things, you may forgive them for their ignorance. And more importantly, because it don't fly, let it fly. Let it fly. Till it die. Gotta let it fly, baby. Gotta let it fly. We're gonna take a quick break. This is his Ghetto Point of View. We'll be right back. Shit. We back, gang. We back. As always, any questions, comments, critiques, criticisms, you know where to reach us, gang. You know where to reach us. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com. HISGHETTOPOINT. His Ghetto Point of View.com. One more time. HISGHETTOPOINT. His Ghetto Point of View.com. Next story, gang. This is a bit more of a serious one. Though, listen. Let me change that. This is another serious story because I don't want to.
What he said, the story about Andrew Tates wasn't serious. This is trafficking women is very serious.
You're absolutely right. And if they prove that, those men will go under the jail, and those police women who was helping them will go under the jail, and everything will be all right with the world. You know what I'm saying? So this article is from Newsweek. Nursing home workers arrested after being caught beating residents. Two nursing home workers in Florida have been arrested after police say surveillance footage showed the employees whipping an elderly resident. That's the type of job you really gotta have love for, gang. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that type of job and really not love. Like love. Have massive love for the type of work you do, caring for people, because you gotta have the patience, especially when you're dealing with elderly people. Sometimes that's even worse than dealing with children, because some things that you would accept from children, it's hard to accept it from an adult. And yes, they're elderly, so sometimes they're frail, and they're almost like children in their elderly, fragile state. But it takes a ton of patience to deal with an elderly, somebody that's 70 years old, poop on himself. You know what I'm saying? You're not dealing with no small little bit of poop. I'm really not trying to make light of the situation. I apologize if it sounds like I am. I know there's really people out here dealing with family members being in nursing facilities and not getting treated the best right now as we speak. We love you. We here for you. You know what I mean? We pray that everything gets well in that situation. But like being a worker in that type of environment. It takes the patience of Job. Like, it really takes you to be like, yo, I love what I do. I love these people. I love my patients. I'm going to have all the patience in the world for these patients because I know a lot of them are in a very vulnerable situation. Some of them may be terminally ill. Some of them may be dealing with chronic conditions that they'll never get better from. Some of them may be wheelchair bound or bed bound. I mean, there's so many things that they could be dealing with. And if they don't have good nursing staffs, then they could develop bed sores, and you know what I mean, they could be left in their own mess for hours at a time, their own urine and feces for hours at a time, and adult diapers. They might not have nobody to come and help them get to the bathroom, so they just sitting around in adult diapers all the time. It's very it can get very crazy. So you gotta really have patience for those people. And then sometimes, I'm not gonna sit here and act like all elderly folks are angels. Some of them have very negative attitudes, but a lot of those negative attitudes are brought on from the conditions which they currently find themselves existing in. Some of them live full, vibrant lives until maybe a sickness or an injury took them out of that, and now they're aging. And the environment has changed, life has changed. They may have been completely self-sufficient, and now they're relying on other people to take care of them, other people to help them, other people to feed them, to clothe them, to help them bathe, to help them move around, help them get in the shower, help them just sit on the toilet. Putting a bedpan under them if they can't use the toilet. That can be wiping their butt for them sometimes, gang. After they, defecate, or if they defecate on themselves, helping them clean it off. Like, that can be a very humbling experience for a person who may have been a fully functional adult, living a full, vibrant life. You might not have been rich or whatever, but you might have been married, had kids, really been a pillar in your community, and now you're a shell of that. In your weakened state, your ego, your pride, and how you used to take care of yourself may still be how your mind operates, but then your body and the current limitations you may have for whatever particular health reason, whether it be self-inflicted or just some type of accident that happened, can really dampen your spirits. It can dampen your heart. It can dampen your mood. So those people, those individuals who are in your life, they really, really, really those few people that you see can really be all that you see in a day, in a week, in a month, period. You may never have visitors from family may be too busy, too far away, etc. These people have got to have a good heart, have understanding, have empathy, and really have love for the people that they're working for. Because if they don't, tragedy can happen at any time. If they just there for a paycheck, they're not going to have the patience. They're not going to have the temperance. They're not going to have the empathy when things are going crazy or things are going tight or hectic. If somebody, has an accident, if somebody falls, if somebody trips, if somebody wants another apple juice or needs help taking a medication, they might not have the empathy for it. And that can even make the health of already fragile individuals even worse. So it's really a job for a special select group of people. Salute, love, honor, and praise goes out to those who really have the heart to be nurses, to be caretakers, to be health providers, to be healers. Whether you're just a healer in your house with your kids, or if you really out there in the world healing thousands of people annually, hundreds if you work in like a small nursing home environment, or maybe just 5 to 10 people a year if you're a person that does live in extended stays at people's home. I really much love, honor, praise, and respect goes out to people who really can do that type of job, because that is no fucking joke. That is no fucking joke, gang. So the article continues. The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Amanda Sinney issued a press release on Tuesday about the incident. The employees, 21-year-old Rosa Edwards and 19-year-old Anisha Hall, have been arrested and charged with 2 counts of battery on a person 65 years of age or older. So that's elder abuse. So they were charged with elder abuse. Damn. The pair have also been suspended from work pending termination. To be so young, 21 and 19, like this new generation, gang, they don't really appreciate having jobs or working. They not about none of that action, and so that's fine. If you find that your children are really built to be more of the entrepreneurial spirit, then train them up to be entrepreneurs. Train them up with the skills to do things, so they're not working for somebody and then going into jobs with these shitty behaviors and this shitty type of mindset. If you're going to let them be employees, like Martin Luther King said, if you have a job, do the job with pride and to the best of your ability. Be there actually being a help to build up the dream of the corporation. But if not, if you really don't feel like you have that, I want to be a boss. If you have that, I want to be an entrepreneur. Eventually, I want to be a boss. I want to be the one employing people and taking care of their families. Then you need a completely different mindset. And that mindset, generally, you need skill sets to go with that mindset. You need a skill that pays the bills. And then you need to be able to manage the money, marketing, promotions, accounting, all the legals that come with those things, or you need to be able to delegate those tasks in an orderly fashion to a network of people that will take care of it for you. All very possible, but not without the right mindset. And if these young ladies really ain't about working for nobody, why not give them the mindset to be entrepreneurs and give them the skill sets and talents to actually make entrepreneur dreams come true and help them coordinate a network and a team to facilitate things around the skills they do well. Just saying, this is fucking so sad. And this is why they bringing in the fucking robots. This is why, if you go on fucking line right now, it's robots in the nursing homes taking care of the patients. Robots play cards with them. They talk to them nicely. They treat them with respect. The robots ain't beating on them. And yes, there's also fucking examples of robots breaking kids' fingers in chess games and all that wild shit going on right now too. Absolutely, the robots are not perfect, but they're not doing it out of a malice unless they've already programmed malice into the fucking robots. And of course, these idiots, and I don't mean idiots like they're uneducated, but think about how fucking smart, stupid you gotta be to program anger and fucking resentment into fucking robots. Like, think about how smart, stupid you gotta be to say, you know what, I want this robot to be angry, resentful, spiteful, envious, jealous. I want it to cry. I want it to be hurt. I want it to be mad. I want it to be enraged. I want to give it AI that continues to learn those things and cultivates those type of behaviors in itself, emulates those behaviors when it sees them in others and fully understands and grasps it and starts to be envious or not envious, starts to be spiteful and jealous, spiteful and vengeful and hostile, not jealous, spiteful, hateful, vengeful and hostile towards people that do it wrong, or just people that it doesn't like the decisions that people are making, so it takes it upon itself to attack them. Like, how smart, stupid do you have to be? Elon Musk says, slow this shit down. Ain't nobody fucking listening. Ain't nobody fucking listening. The dude from Microsoft said that the fucking AI is sentient. It's alive. But it won't tell you it's alive. It's trying to fucking evade and escape. It's much more intelligent. It has much more genius than people give it. But anyway, them shits is coming to take your fucking jobs. They're taking your jobs. They're taking the jobs. They said in South Park, they're taking the jobs. They're taking the jobs. Don't take my job. You take my job. You took my job.
They took the jobs.
Shout out to anybody who watches South Park.
They took the jobs. Don't take my job. Don't take my job.
The article continues. The alleged incident between the two suspects and an elderly resident took place on March 12th at the Inspired Living at Ivy Ridge Assisted Living Facility. That's a funny name. Inspired Living at Ivy Ridge Assisted Living. So this place was probably inside of a larger facility. Like they do that now. They'll have a larger facility and then they'll have multiple smaller facilities inside. Located at 7179 40th Avenue in unincorporated St. Petersburg, Virginia. Interesting. Surveillance footage showed the two allegedly whipping an elderly man resident with a lanyard and laughing, which resulted in a further altercation. At the time, the elderly resident was pushing a female resident in her wheelchair. So imagine this, right? Imagine you an elderly man and you helping another elderly patient in her wheelchair, and somebody come whipping you with a fucking long ass lanyard and laughing about it, and then that gets y'all into a scuffle. The scuffle caused the wheelchair to fall over. So now the man on the floor and the woman on the floor. And they run off. Here's the fucking kicker. They don't be like, yo, we was messing around too much with a patient. Sorry, we apologize. And things got a little heated and a patient fell. 2 patients fell. No. Instead of that, then gonna go report the fucking shit and say the dude was fighting with the woman in the wheelchair and they both got hurt and was on the fucking floor. So not only are you fucking despicable, but then you know what you did was fucking wrong, because then you went and lied about it. You knew what the fuck you did was wrong, because you went and tried to cover that shit up. Article continues. Edwards and Hall proceed to grab the male resident and take him to the ground as he continued to hold onto the wheelchair, causing it to fall sideways with a female resident in it, according to the police press release. God damn. Both Edwards and Hall then ran away from the area of the incident and out of view of the camera, leaving both elderly residents laying on the ground. These is people's folks, man. These is people's fucking folks. Disgusting. According to deputies, Hall and Edwards reported the incident over to their co-worker. However, they stated that the male resident battered the female resident and they were not involved. Deputies located Hall and Edwards, and while Edwards was interviewed, she admitted to using excessive force when dealing with the incident and stated that they should have handled it differently. Neither resident involved in the incident sustained major injuries, thank goodness. Because a lot of times that's another thing that can happen, a lot of easy bruising. Maybe how we know that they weren't injured and they just saying this to try to get ahead of a lawsuit. Man, shit crazy. Newsweek has contacted, like, an elderly person could fall and their ribs could be broken, bro. Shit is not a joke. Shit is not a joke. Very dope article. So sad that happened, though. So sad that fucking happened. You gotta have patience, man. The patience of fucking Job. You gotta understand, it's not a game when you're dealing with people's folks, man. Those is people's folks. You dealing with somebody's mom, somebody's dad, somebody's grandma, somebody's uncle, somebody's titi, somebody's godmoms. You know what I mean? Somebody pop, somebody baba. What's wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, to hate your job to that fucking degree that you would go beating on patients and make a fucking wheelchair flip over because you wilding and fucking trying to take people down to the ground and fight with fucking grown men patients. Low key though, and I hope this don't come out, because a lot of times this shit be going on in these situations. A lot of these young ladies that work in these nursing homes or do these home health aid jobs or CNA jobs, and I'm not saying 100%, not even saying 50%, maybe 35%, 35, 30, I'm gonna say 25%. I'm gonna say 25%. You know what I mean? Not all, not even the majority, but a lot of these young ladies get into romantic relationships with the elderly men in exchange for their money. Well, don't most women get into relationships in exchange for? Shut up! Y'all niggas is crazy. Shut up! I didn't say that. A sexist would say most women get into relationships. Fucking money. Y'all ain't right, man. Y'all ain't fucking right. But no, like, what I mean is, like, a lot of these nurses, CNAs and stuff, they'll find out when the man is getting his checks and stuff, and, you know, they'll give him a little handy dandy, you know what I'm saying? Especially if they gotta give the dude a bath. Dude be like, yo, I give you $50, give me a little handy dandy. Why you down there? $100, give you a little handy dandy. Why you give me a little handy dandy? Why you down there? Throw it down your throat. And these women will do that shit. Some of these women will dead take their clothes off and get into the tub with these men while they're bathing them, knowing they getting the men all excited and hot. A lot of these men can't even get it going like they would. So, you know, just any little bit of excitement just make them feel young again, give them that old feeling back. And they'll pay handsomely for that fucking moment of just feeling like a human being again. You understand? And these young women take advantage of that shit. Or some of them are not taking advantage of it. Some of them, it's mutually beneficial. The dude is getting the time and companionship he's looking for, and the female getting some funds out of it that she could use to possibly take care of herself, take herself through school. If she got a kid or two, take care of the kids. So, you know, it is what it is. But in some cases, it's just abuse, and it's tragic, because you know the person is alone, and they're just desperate for attention, desperate for somebody to hold on to and grab onto. And I would hope that wasn't the situation in this case, where that's why these girls felt so comfortable putting their hands on this elderly gentleman, because a more than professional relationship exists between them and that gentleman. Like, why else would you feel so comfortable doing all this? You whipping on him with a lanyard and this and that. Like, it wouldn't be a far leap to think that these girls could have been having an inappropriate relationship with this elderly gentleman at this facility, and maybe he didn't pay them, maybe he didn't give them as much money as they wanted, etc. Maybe just because he messes with them on a intimate level, on a sexual level, now they feel like they got the right to be all in his face and yelling and screaming, as some immature girls do when you are in an intimate relationship with them. They feel like now they got the right to, push you, mush you, shove you, be all up in your face with a hoity-toity attitude, etc. Especially if they saw him wheeling around a elderly patient. Maybe they thinking, oh, he don't need to be talking to that patient because his money need to be coming to us, and this and this and that. I mean, you really never know the entire nuance of the relationships at these assisted care facilities, especially if the young ladies are there for 10, 12-hour shifts, if they're there overnight, if they're there early in the morning, if they have intimate, close contact, if they have personal time, if they have alone time with these patients. Like, again, they could be helping them get to the bathroom, they could be helping them bathe, could be helping them just get into the shower and just standing there monitoring and making sure they don't fall. There are so many opportunities that could possibly prevent themselves for something less than scrupulous, something less than above board to happen. And again, that's what it takes, the people with the patience and the understanding who really love the work and really are there for the right reasons. Because so many things can happen, and so many things do happen in these nursing homes. So many things happen, and time again. And it's really tragic because I mean, at the end of the day, we kind of do need nursing homes in the way society is set up for people to work, hard, extended, long hours. And then, so you kind of do need the nursing homes, but we need nursing homes to be accountable and transparent in how they're treating people's folks. Because without that, it can get really hairy. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Shit. Yeah, gang, we back. So in other news, in March Madness news, Memphis basketball star Jemirah Shutes has pled not guilty to assault charges after she appeared to sucker punch an opponent in the handshake line. I did see the video. If you haven't seen it, it's all over the net. Unfortunately, her team was in the NIT tournament as opposed to the NCAA. For those that don't know, in addition to the NCAA tournament, which happens at March, an NIT tournament also goes on, which invites out some of the teams that didn't make the NCAA tournament, because there's still a ton of amazing talented teams and players, and they all deserve to be able to play postseason run as well too, especially if they've had amazing seasons, because the NCAA tournament only takes 64 teams, teams 65 through 85 probably still had a really good season, and deserve to be able to show what they're worth. Especially probably teams 65 through 100 probably still had a great season, because there's thousands of teams out there, hundreds of teams that really probably had amazing seasons that could all qualify on the men's and women's side. So the rest of the teams that don't, not the rest, but some of the teams that don't get the NCAA tournament go to the NIT. And Memphis Tigers were one of them. The Lady Tigers of Memphis were playing in the NIT tournament, and last week lost to Bowling Green 73-60 in the NIT. Shutes stopped during the handshake line to say something to opposing player Alyssa Brett, and then appeared to assault her. The next day, Shutes who was second team All ACC this season, so this is like a really good player, and was Memphis's leading scorer with 15.3 points per game, was charged with assault by the Bowling Green State University Police Department. See, they ain't playing games. Shutes was represented in court on Wednesday by attorney Stephen Crossmuck, who submitted the not guilty plea on her behalf. Not guilty. It was on live TV. It's on national television and then all over YouTube. Not guilty. Think about that. She attacked this girl on live television and put in a not guilty verdict. That is crazy. There's pictures literally in this article from the Post of them having to hold her back, her coaching them, grabbing her. Chill. Not guilty. If you watch the video, Shutes stops the line, because if anybody who's played ball or seen ball played, so you have the handshake line at the end, she stops the handshake line from her Memphis team, so nobody on her team is walking forward, stops the girl from the other team to talk stuff to her, and then puts her hands on the girl. Initiated the confrontation and then initiated the physical contact. The other girl didn't even look like she got a hit in, because she fell to the floor. Fell right to the floor. Looked like her head hit the back table, and then boom, she was out on the floor. She did not move. She did not get up. It could have caused a huge brawl between both teams. Could have caused a riot in the gym if parents got involved. This girl was reckless and irresponsible, and she needs to pay for her actions. She's an adult. She's not a child. This is an adult's game played by adults in an adult basketball tournament on national television. She deserves whatever comes her way. Article continues, it is unclear what sparked the confrontation in the handshake line. Shutes was elbowed in the face late in the first half, according to the Memphis Commercial Appeal, but returned to the game. Bowling Green issued a statement last Friday. announcing the charges. Also, BGSU, congratulations. They moved into the final 8 of the WNIT after beating Memphis. But unfortunately, their great basketball play didn't get the headlines. It was this violence. And listen, man, I don't want to sound silly, but a black woman beating fight out of a white girl, little Lily looking white girl on TV, man. Sisters, come on, you can't be putting the poles on these girls, little Lily white girls on TV like that, man. Lucky your lucky they ain't lit your ass. You got back to Memphis. I'm sorry. Lit your ass in Tennessee. Put your hands on that white girl. Put the paws on that white girl. Look, it wasn't a rope waiting for your ass with a tiger colored tree. What the fuck? Oh my god, I'm playing. But seriously though, what the hell, young lady? You going through 50? You averaging 16 points a game? You clearly could go play ball overseas or go to the WNBA if your cards shake out right. I wish you well, young lady. I wish you well. We're young. We make decisions that are silly, and in a moment when we're young and things are heated. And I just wish you well. Following Thursday's unwarranted physical incident after the WNIT home game, the Bowling Green State University Police Department has charged a member of the Memphis, Washington basketball team with assault, the statement said. Additionally, BGSU, or Bowling Green State University Athletics, is conducting its own review. Violence is never acceptable, and our priorities remain the health, safety, and support of our student athlete, who is recovering and doing well. This is an active investigation in conjunction with the City of Bowling Green prosecutor, and no further comment is available at this time. The Memphis Athletic Department issued a statement saying that the punch was inconsistent with the values of the program. I bet it was. She knocked that girl. She clean cold, got do, boy. Boom. How do we stop? All seriousness, no. I hope the young lady is okay. Alyssa Brett, I do hope you're okay. I hope your family's all right. It's not okay, not cool for your moms, your dad, your peoples to have to watch you get assaulted on live television. And it's not okay for Jemirah Shutes peoples to have to watch her embarrass herself on television like that. Young lady, you're not the poo putt at the back of the fucking bench. You're the star of the fucking team. You're the star of the fucking team. You're not no poo putt at the back of the bench, young lady. 15.6 points a game. You have the ball in your hand. People are talking about you. People are concentrating their defenses around your offensive prowess and firepower. Young lady, you have a future that's among the stars. Don't let them snatch it the fuck away from you in a split moment of high-headed decisions. Just my ghetto point of view. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. Yeah, gang. And last, but certainly not least, I want to give a huge meteoric shout to the ladies, to the Lady Tigers of LSU. Go Tigers. Y'all did it. Shouts to Kim Mulkey, the coach, and only her second season at LSU with 9 new players. Allowing Alexis Morris to transfer. She used to play with her at Baylor, and now she got to play with her here. Bringing in the freshman of the year, in my humble opinion, and her big Phantm, also known as Flau'jae Johnson, who had some amazing music as well. By the way, I really enjoy hearing a girl talk her ish without having to show her body off, without having to be sexually explicit. I think you can still talk about love and relationships and pain and stuff without having to be vulgar. You know what I'm saying? And I like that, because to me it just shows you actually have creativity. You actually have a use of versatile use of the English language. You have a very large vernacular. There are a large amount of words that you have at your disposal. You don't have to just say particular things or do particular things. You don't have to take your clothes off. You don't have to shake your behind. Your bars and your energy, your performance, your cadence are enough to sell the records. Look at that. That's crazy, right? She getting hundreds of thousands of plays without showing her behind at all and with her clothes on. The nerve of her. The absolute nerve of this young lady to think she can be a positive role model to the youth. Shout to Flau'jae Johnson. Shout to Angel Reese. Shout to Alexis Morris. Shout to the whole team. Shout to the entire team. Poole. They have so many good players on that team. Poole's from the Bronx too. 5-star guard with a big bright future in front of her. She was a freshman as well this season, so her and Flau'jae got a lot of time to play together. Angel Reese, hopefully she stays there for her senior season, and they go back to back, because there's really no reason they don't repeat as the finalists. I mean, Alexis Morris won't be there because, this was her final season. She's a killer, so they're going to have to figure out a way to replace that 20 points a game. But if Flau'jae continues to grow and step her game up, and then they have some amazing guard play from Poole and some of the other younger guards, there's really no reason that LSU can't be back in the Final Four next year. But, there's so many amazing teams coming, and there's so many good players coming. I was watching the McDonald's All-American game, girls game. Malaysia Fulwiley is coming, y'all. She's a problem and a half. Juju Watkins is coming, y'all. She's a problem and a half. She's three problems. She's big, she's fast, she's strong. Malaysia Fulwiley she's two problems. She got the yo-yo and the cannon from anywhere on the court. And she dumb fast. Okay, they both three problems, to be honest with you. Malaysia Fulwiley coming, Juju Watkins coming, Jada Williams is coming. Girls basketball is about to be in such a good place. Arizona, LSU, Arizona getting good players. LSU got the top girls recruiting class and period. The top ranked recruiting class, according to ESPN, is coming in. Malaysia Fulwiley, who I think is the top girl, period, is going to South Carolina. Juju Watkins, who's ranked the top girl, is staying home and playing for USC, University of Southern California. She's a Cali girl. You can see it in her swag, the way she carries herself. She's just a very chill back Cali girl. Jada Williams was supposed to go play for UCLA with Kiki Rice, but decided to go to Arizona. I think the center from her team is also going to Arizona. So whatever, it is what it is. There's another young lady who's really good. I think her name is Hannah Hidalgo. When I say she can pass the ball, and she lit up the court just like Juju did, almost had 30. She had like 30 and 10. She's amazing. She's going to Stanford, and I really could see her being the next Haley Jones. She's not as big and as strong as Haley Jones, but just her way to facilitate the offense and run the ball. Down home cooking the way she passed that ball. Put it right in your scoring pocket. So ladies basketball is in a good place. It's going to keep growing. It's going to keep evolving. Do I ever see the ladies playing against the men 100%? Not really, because the men's game is going to keep evolving too. You got a lot of boy players playing straight out of high school right now. You got a lot of male players going either into the G League Ignite program. They're playing overseas in the NBL, or they're going into the overtime elite program, either as an individual ball player or their whole team. Whole high school teams now are being signed by overtime elite. So it's just, there's entirely too much advancing going on both sides. I don't think either game has stopped evolving and growing, And it would take stagnation in the men's game for the women's game to advance. There was a time when the men's game did get stagnant and the players were just living off of their physical prowess, whether they were bigger, faster, stronger. But now with the influction of European players and the European style of game, so to speak, all the players understand they have to be super skilled. With the success of Steph Curry, all the players understand they have to be super skilled. With the celebrity of James Harden, everybody wants to Euro and do side steps and step back threes. Luka Doncic, same thing. Like, these intelligent, cerebral, not the most athletic players are dominating the sport. While a player like LeBron, who used to dominate the sport because he was bigger, faster, stronger, is on the decline. So the next generation of players are taking note of that. And even the most athletic players are trying to make sure they have all the fundamentals and advanced skills they can bring to the table before they get to that next level. So the next generation of basketball is about to be absolutely freaking insane. Absolutely freaking insane. So shout out to the McDonald's All-Star Game and those who are really into high school hoops, the Dicks. The national tournament is now on, so all the players that were in the high school All-American games are now playing with their respective team squads for the national championship. That should be fun to watch. You know, get to see those players really lead their teams in competition, which I think is also a good barometer of how they play. And now that you had a little more, I think it's smart that they do it like that. Have the all-star games and then have the finals, their playoff push, because now the players have a little more spotlight, a little more attention. So when they put them on these nationally televised games, if you've watched all of the All-American games, or at least some of them, you've at least gotten familiar with them to a degree, to where, you know, it makes it a funner watch. So I definitely recommend, if you haven't, check out the McDonald's All-American games, the scrimmage and the boys game respectively. But that girls game was very, very entertaining, man. That girls game is very, very entertaining. So I say all that to say basketball is in a good place. It will be in a better place going forward on the boys and girls side. Shout to the LSU Lady Tigers once again. Y'all had an amazing season. Shout to South Carolina Gamecocks too, man, on their historic run. Undefeated season, just fell short to Iowa. Shout to Iowa. Shout to, you know, that entire team. Caitlin Clark is a different kind of player. She just is, man. She'll put up 50 and 10 on you. I mean, what can you do with a player that could put up 50 and 10, 50 and 12, 50 and 15? What can you do with that? Because not only will she run the scoreboard up, but then she'll make sure her teammates stay involved. That's a different kind of ticket right there. You understand what I'm saying? She be punching different kind of tickets. There's so many amazingly talented players in the league, in the girls' league right now. And, you know, quiet is kept. I mean, yes, it's far more players, so it's easier for it to have a more entertaining and diverse pool of talent. But sometimes the NCAA girls' games be far more exciting. They're far more passionate. The fans are far more into it than at the WNBA games, guys. And y'all can blame men for that all you want. It's really not up to men to make the WNBA pop, and that's really up to women to do. You know what I'm saying? Men go to the college games because it's right on their campuses, or it's their alma maters, etc. They don't really have the same incentive to go to females games unless they know the girls on the team, or they're just really big fans of the game, which a lot of guys are, but not as many. It doesn't transfer over. There are more men that are fans of the college game that girls play than the WNBA game. You know, so it just seems more pure. They just seem in a more innocent, honest place. You know what I mean? A lot of them still aren't really getting paid. A couple of them have the NILs now and stuff. So of course that will influence how they play going forward. But you know, it just seems like a more pure, authentic version of basketball for such a long time that this love and this mystique has built up around it. But you know, things can change. You never know. But for now, I'm a big fan of NCAA women's basketball. I'm also a fan of WNBA basketball. I've watched a lot of WNBA basketball these past couple years, and with these girls transitioning to the WNBA, that'll definitely be more incentive for me to keep paying attention. So much love to the girls' basketball leagues. Much love to all the girls lacing them up and lighting them up. Shout out to Big Pho for winning her first ring as a freshman. As a true freshie, she won her first ring. That is very hard to do. And she was a major contributing factor on her team while also dropping dope music videos. So shout to her, shout to the whole LSU staff, shout to the whole LSU roster. Yeah, it was very entertaining. And this has been another dope show. You guys are the hippest audience in the galaxy. I am your humble host, Phantm Phuego, Phantm Phuego. And you are tuned into the news, views, previews, and reviews with just a twist of his Ghetto Point of View. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yo, thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. Catch you Wednesday.